Hey everybody, Jeff Lanoski, and I've got way too many bikes. So if you've ever checked out my Trail Boss video series or seen one of my trials demos, you know that I enjoy riding all different kinds of bikes all over the country on all different kinds of trails. And while it's really cool to have so many bikes at my disposal, you gotta find a way to store them. So I'm gonna show you how to build a bike rack like I've got here for about $10 or $11 per bike. In full disclosure, I pretty much stole this idea from my good buddy Ray at Ray's Mountain Bike Parks. One of my favorite things about this rack is it could hold it all. National championship bikes, trials bikes, more trials bikes, road bikes, cross-country bikes, trail bikes, full suspension trialsy bike park kind of bikes, enduro bikes, even downhill bikes. Okay, the first thing you want to consider is how many bikes you're looking to store. So I've got a double-decker bike rack. I can store 6 bikes on the bottom and 9 across the top. Basically, across the top, if I give myself 16 inches between trays, I could take those bikes in and out on a daily basis. They're not too tight. On the end, I have them a little bit closer, but those are for some bikes I don't take out every single day. And then you just want to make sure that you have enough room for your handlebars on the lower level if you're going to do the double-decker. And right here, I've got about 90 inches. So my first tray is 45 inches off the ground. That gives me 45 on top. If you don't have a height restriction, then you can just put it wherever you want it. And if you don't want to do a double decker and you're just trying to get your bikes off the floor, you could basically make it whatever height you want and store other stuff underneath it. So I had 10 feet to work with, so I fastened a 2x6 to the cinder block wall using a hammer nail gun. But if you have a sheetrock wall, just look for the studs and you can screw it. And then I did some vertical 2x4s on both ends with a 2x4 that goes across. And what that does is if I ever want to move these trays around a little bit, it just gives me something to slide on. So you're going to need something to hold up the front of the tray. So I have a 10-foot long 2x4 that goes across. This is 45 inches tall, which is the same height as the bottom of this rail, so that you can have it nice and level. And then it's just a simple lap joint right here with an extra 2x4 for some more support. And I have 3 of those going across, 1 on each end and 1 in the middle. The lower level is super simple. Basically got a 10-foot 2x6 and a 10-foot 2x6, and then put an end cap on and an end cap on, and then every 18 inches I have a 2x4 with a 2.5 gap in the middle, and then another 2x6 going all the way across. That allows me to slide a variety of wheel sizes in there, and it'll hold it up. And then since I don't want the wheels to go too far underneath the upper deck, I spaced it out 2 feet, which gave me the opportunity to make a really cool shelf. So I store some posters under there, tires, you name it, but it's just some cool storage space. Here's the materials you're gonna need. A 2x3 cut at 22 inches long, a 2x3 cut at 70 inches long, 2 2x4s cut at 24 inches long, 2 more cut at 24 inches long with the ends on a 45-degree angle, and then 2 more 2x3s cut at 66.5 inches long. I'm going to start off by laying the 2x3 flat and the 2x4 on its edge. You're going to put a couple screws in every 6 to 12 inches should be fine. You're going to do the same step with the other 2x4. Once you have the side trays on, you're going to have 3.5 inches left of 2x3 sticking out right there. That's where this is going to go. So you're going to put a couple screws in here. Repeat the same step on the other side. Next up, take your 22.5 inch long 2x3, put that right in there. And then you're going to take your 2x4 that's cut on a 45, line that up so it sits flush. You'll want to repeat that same step. Alright, so you've got a tray done. Depending on how many bikes you want to store, just keep duplicating that process. Once all your trays are done, you can put them in place. I already measured all this stuff out, so I have them every 16 inches, except for down the end where I want to pack them in a little bit tighter. I put one 3.5 inch screw into that vertical leg. I put one more in the back over here to screw it to the 2x6. Once you're done building, it's time to start storing some bikes. Alright, there you have it. I built this whole thing for under $100 and in a few hours. As you can see, I got 15 bikes organized here, so it works pretty sweet. So hopefully you found this how-to useful. Subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing some more tips like this, and to check out my Trail Boss video series. Thanks a lot. Now if I can only keep it this organized in real life.